You know, there's been so many I told you so's from independent media, and corporate media, of course, didn't want to listen to any of us. You don't see them invite any of us onto corporate media to give them a different perspective, or the perspective that they are purposely omitting from their reporting. And now it appears that after the election, MSNBC and CNN in particular are tanking. I mean, CNN was already having difficulty with ratings, but now post-election, the viewers are not happy with CNN or MSNBC. Let's go ahead and get into this clip here from my comrade Nick from RBN. Peep this.
Liberal corporate media is dying as viewers flee the networks after Donald Trump's dominant election win. We are witnessing MSNBC and CNN go through a massive ratings crater as they lose all credibility with their audience. MSNBC's drop-off is so bad that Comcast is now considering selling it. Bro, MSNBC had half of their audience flee following Donald Trump's election. CNN is faring no better, with hundreds of employees being laid off, Anderson Cooper and Jake Tapper not receiving any raises, and top talent at CNN are now under threat. Imagine having Trump derangement syndrome so bad that you tank an entire network because you guys lose all your credibility. After deceiving their own audience, MSNBC and CNN don't even take accountability over it. They then proceed to blame the far left for Donald Trump winning. Kamala Harris ran with Liz Cheney and George W. Bush Republicans while declaring an era of never-ending war and supporting genocide. Meanwhile, the autopsy done on MSNBC is that Kamala Harris lost because the Democratic Party was too far to the left. Meanwhile, the establishment is wondering why the American people no longer get their news from corporate media outlets like MSNBC and CNN. You can only insult the intelligence of people for so long before you completely lose credibility.
Based hotspot video there from Nick. Make sure you follow Nick and Nico on Twitter. Both of them create those short hotspot videos. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, corporate media is dying post-election. It turns out it's not a good idea to mislead your viewers into making them think that a race is really close, or to making them think that Kamala's doing these great big numbers, which apparently was misleading. All of these rallies that we saw with celebrity after celebrity after celebrity, not even getting their viewers to consider the fact that maybe so many people are showing up because they expect to see a Beyonce concert. Maybe so many people are showing up because they wanted to see the Meg Thee Stallion concert, not so much to see Kamala Harris. Not telling your viewers that audience members started to exit after the celebrity spoke. These things are important, and we told you this on independent media. So let's get started with MSNBC. We're going to start with them first. MSNBC ratings plunge after Trump's election victory as more than half of their primetime audience flees. More than half. Now, you got to remember, in cable news, corporate media, ratings actually matter. Turns out that's important. MSNBC primetime viewership plunged 54% in the days after Donald Trump won the White House, as the network's audience tuned away from its left-leaning coverage. That's according to a report. The Comcast-owned cable news channel, which drew a daily average of 1.1 million viewers throughout October, saw its audience shrink to a daily average of 736,000 on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday after Election Day. This is according to the Nielsen media research data. So Nielsen, they're the ones that produce the ratings data. This is important. It does matter. It's a little bit different with those of us on YouTube because we don't have, we don't rely on ratings. Whether or not we get a certain number of views, that doesn't limit our ability to be able to create a video. Obviously, that would affect us monetarily, but we're talking about a corporation, right? It's not just MSNBC. There are shareholders that are involved in these companies as well. And if the shareholders feel that they're losing money, they're going to ask you to make some cuts. Okay? Now, that amounted to a 31% drop following Trump's decisive victory, in which he swept the popular vote in all 7 swing states. Meanwhile, Fox News ratings surged a whopping 61% during the same period, according to the Nielsen data. And here's a picture here of Joy Reid. And I just want to say this little tidbit, folks. So what is happening is people are going to the other alternative. What I would prefer people do is to go to independent media, right? Like Fox News, they're biased too. They're also corporate. They have a certain agenda that they lead with as well, just like MSNBC and just like CNN. But I think more people probably hopped over to Fox News because they're like, maybe I should have been watching Fox News because maybe they were telling me the truth about the possibility of Trump winning that popular vote, about the possibility of Trump having that victory that MSNBC and CNN, didn't tell me about. So maybe that could be what is happening. And it would be one thing if Donald Trump won the Electoral College but did not win the popular vote. But the fact that he won the popular vote, that shows that there was something corporate media was purposely, leaving out of their commentary, which is that the majority of voters voted for Donald Trump, which means the majority of the voting dynamic is going in a different direction. The majority of the voters was not happy about this administration. That speaks volumes. In 2016, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but she lost the Electoral College, right? So even though Hillary Clinton lost, there wasn't as big of a fallout because the excuse that you could use was, well, she lost the Electoral College, but the majority of voters did vote for her. So the majority of people did want that style of politics, right? That's what they would have you believe. This time around, they couldn't use that. Couldn't use it at all. That's Joy Reid there. Listen to this. It says MSNBC was hit hardest during the primetime hours of 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Viewership of its primetime shows, including Alex Wagner Tonight, All In with Chris Hayes, and The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell, dropped 54% to 808,000. That's after the network averaged 1.8 million viewers in the coveted time slot throughout October. Yeah, misleading people. You can't blame the people for leaving. The losses are sharp turnaround from Election Day. MSNBC's election night coverage, anchored by Rachel Maddow, averaged 6 million viewers, besting CNN 5.1 million viewers. Fox News came out on top on election night with 10.3 million viewers between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Sharon Waxman, a foreign correspondent for the New York Times and founder of Hollywood news site The Wrap, argued that the media needs a total rethink after the election. Telling people the truth. Telling people the truth. And CNN, no different. No different here from CNN, and you're going to see this as well. Check this one out. CNN, they are facing massive layoffs coming soon. CNN to sack hundreds, including top stars, due to dismal election ratings. See, it's happening all over, folks, right? Because they were lying to people, fam. Lying to people. It says the Daily Mail reported that this comes from following the network's viewership eventually plummeted with only 5.1 million views on the night of the U.S. presidential elections, while severely trailing behind MSNBC and Fox. So we're seeing both of them take hits here. It says CNN CEO Mark Thompson, he took over in August. He is the one that was leading the charge for recent changes, which eventually includes a shift towards prioritizing digital content. CNN noted that various high-profile anchors like Anderson Cooper and Aaron Barnett have uncertain futures, while reports revealed that some senior stars have also been denied raises. So let's take a look at this. Chris Wallace has already departed from CNN News. Chris Wallace used to be a commentator on Fox News. He left Fox News, came to CNN, I think about a year and a half ago, and now he's already out the door. So you can see what's happening here. And it goes on to say there's another part here that I wanted to highlight. Let me go up here for just a second. CNN is reportedly facing significant layoffs as part of a major restructuring effort, which is actually aimed at reviving its struggling reputation following disappointing U.S. presidential election ratings. So, yeah, CNN has a reputation problem. It's called lying. You know, CNN is known for having 24-hour news, 24 hours of lies. You're paying all these commentators millions of dollars. We'll get into the pay in just a second. Millions of dollars to read a teleprompter full of lies. And the American people have caught up with it. And you know what? People are leaving it. People are like, I'm done with this. I don't want to see corporate media that much anymore. So this is actually good news for independent media, because this means that more people are looking for other sources of information. And that means that we can get past some of that propaganda. We can't get past all of it because we're not pushed to the top of the algorithm, but we can get past some of it and get people to see what's really happening here, right? It's not just CNN. It's not just MSNBC News. Even The View is looking to make changes. Oh my God. Wait for this one. ABC brass scramble to bring in pro-Trump voices to The View and other shows. Panic mode. It's all happening, folks. It's all starting to crumble. ABC News brass are in panic mode as they hunt for conservative voices to balance the rabid anti-Trump rhetoric spewed by the host on The View, as well as those on other shows. The Disney-owned network, which came under fire over how ABC News moderators grilled Donald Trump during the presidential debate against Vice President Kamala Harris, has been holding high-level meetings since last week's rout by the former president. Sources close to the situation told The Post. ABC News Group President Deborah O'Connell and her recently elevated boss of ABC News, Alman, we're just going to call him Alman because I ain't going to pronounce all that, Karamovic, held intense sit-downs with executive producers of the network, various shows, and other senior editorial leaders suggest. So this is also big news. There are two conservative hosts on The View. Most of them are liberal on that show. However, even the conservative hosts, for the most part, seem to be anti-Trump. So it seems like the producer is trying to get someone to be a part of that panel that is pro-Trump to balance things out. I mean, also, too, like, I think that show in particular, I don't get a chance to watch The View like during the morning, but they don't take into consideration that the constant bashing of Donald Trump, the constant bashing of Trump voters and supporters can actually have an effect on their ratings as well. I mean, it's not just all Democrats that are watching that show. And I think this is sometimes what people like Sunny Hostin does not take into consideration. So everything is starting to change, ladies and gentlemen. And it says first on the agenda, according to one insider, is finding a pro-Trump panelist for its top-ranked daytime talk show. And it also goes on to say that The View is facing pressure from higher ups. Viewers can expect some major changes, including bringing in new panelists that can bring in a pro-Trump perspective. Under pressure, under pressure, I mean, you need different views. I mean, the show was called The View, but you don't have different views. Like, you have the views that you have are the anti-Trump view, right? Even for the most part, even for some of the conservative hosts as well. So you need to have people come on that have different perspectives. On this show, we've had on people with different perspectives. I mean, I've hosted panels of people said they were supporting Trump. People said they were supporting Jill Stein. People said they were supporting Kamala, and people said they were just going to sit on the couch. You need to hear different perspectives, and you can't keep people in this echo chamber, right? And I think what is happening is that some of these news outlets, particularly some of these shows, they're starting to realize that, you know what, we may have to actually not live in an echo chamber. We may have to not live in an echo chamber. So that is happening. Now, I'm telling you all of this, and I'm telling you about these shows, CNN layoffs, MSNBC tanking in ratings, CNN tanking in ratings after a post-election. And I'm telling you about The View also trying to make some changes. This is a ratings issue. And then some of you are probably wondering, well, if this is the way that things have been going, how much are they paying these hosts? Let's see. Let's look at MSNBC first. Hold on to your seat. The top highest paid MSNBC anchors. Hold on to this. Here we go. I don't want anyone to fall out of their seat. Rachel Maddow, first up, right? Remember, the ratings are tanking. Rachel Maddow is paid $30 million a year. $30 million a year to lie and lie. Remember, Rachel Maddow, this was the Russiagator. Does everyone remember this? She was the one who was like, it was Russia, it was Russia, it was Russia, right? Never came back and apologized for the Russia lies. Never came back and said those things. She's paid $30 million a year and her net worth is $35 million to sit there and read a teleprompter of lies. There's more. It's not just her. Not just the Rach. Jonathan Capehart. He's fairly newer. We'll go a little bit easier on him. He's newer, but he's paid $92,000 to $1 million per year. Okay. Still not 30 million like Rachel Maddow. Estimated net worth, 3 million. 3 million. There's more. Oh, we're going on. So this is Kristen Welker. So she's the one that hosts Meet the Press. Her salary is $100,000 per year. So even she's not making anywhere near, Rachel Maddow, but she is also newer too. Her net worth is $3 million. $3 million. Let's continue. She's not as cringe as Rachel. Lawrence O'Donnell, right? The guy who continues to tell you like the Democratic Party isn't going to change. Remember this guy who made that video? He's like, you can't vote for them because they're never going to change. I worked with them. Remember he said that? Let's see how much Lawrence O'Donnell makes. $4 to $7 million per year. He has a net worth of $16 million. Now, those are just a few from MSNBC. Do you think, given what I just told you, do you think they are in spaces with working class people? Do you think they really know what working class people want, what they need? Some of these people have like penthouse apartments in Manhattan. Someone was asking in the chat, why is Rachel paid so much more? I think at one point she had the highest rated show on MSNBC. I think that's why. But yeah, there is a very big difference there in the pay. I'm surprised they haven't brought this up, or maybe they have brought this up at some point. Alex Witt, $1 to $2 million per year. Estimated net worth, $4 million. We're not going to go through all of them, but I just want to show you a few. Brian Williams, the guy who lied and said he was at war. Remember this guy? He lied and said that he was at war. Then he had to come back on air and publicly apologize. This guy was still able to keep a job, still able to tell the news after he lied. Okay. So Brian Williams makes $6 to $10 million per year. His estimated net worth is $50 million. These people have been lying to you for years, and they're paid millions millions to lie to you. So I don't, this is why I don't feel bad about the layoffs and all this kind of stuff. These people have gotten comfortable. And there's more. We'll go to CNN salaries. Jake Tapper, Wolf Blitzer. Let's see how much they're making. Now, they've been denied raises because of the ratings, right? Like that was told October 17th, but I want you to see how much they're making. So we'll just go down here for a little bit. I'll make it a little bit bigger, actually. Okay, there we go. So check this out. Who are we starting with? Jake Tapper. Thompson recently re-signed Jake Tapper. It says to a new 3-year contract that will pay him the same $7 million annually. $7 million. So Jake Tapper, who has been lying about Israel and Gaza, Jake Tapper is paid $7 million a year. None of these people are working class. None of these people, I wouldn't even call them middle class. These people are wealthy. They live in a world that we don't even know of. Okay, no. What are the chances that you are going to be in the same space with these people? Think about that. That's Jake Tapper. Wolf Blitzer is up here too. Wolf Blitzer, 67-year-old longtime CNN veteran. It said that his 3-year contract is frozen at his pay roughly at $3 million annually. So he makes $3 million a year. So long story short, these people are paid. Paid. We are not on the same page as them. Or should I say they're not on the same page as us. And then there's the big one. And that's Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper, who first and foremost comes from a wealthy family. He's a Vanderbilt. I don't think Anderson Cooper probably really had to work hard for anything in his life. I mean, when you come from a family and your family's the Vanderbilts, I'm pretty sure you probably didn't have to work hard to get what you wanted, right? Just because Anderson Cooper sits at an anchor desk on CNN News doesn't mean he was the best reporter or the best journalist. Having a name like Vanderbilt or coming from that family opens certain doors for you that other people don't get. So let's think about that first. And then I'm going to show you how much he makes. So Anderson Cooper, who has been lying for years, let's go down here. Let's get to the Sal. Anderson Cooper's net worth is $50 million. $50 million. And it says here, that's according to Celebrity Net Worth, but according to other outlets such as USA Today, it's actually more like $200 million. Anderson Cooper. Crazy, crazy stuff. How much money does Anderson Cooper make? Anderson Cooper makes a cool $20 million at CNN. Why are they paid so much, ladies and gentlemen? Why are these commentators who read from a teleprompter, who lie to you, who feed you propaganda every day, why are they paid millions and millions of dollars? These people, let me be clear, 9 times out of 10, a lot of these people are probably not taking the subway. Don't be surprised if they have a driver, someone that drops them off to work. They get their hair and their makeup done, and they're paid millions to sit there and read a teleprompter to tell you lies. So I don't feel bad that corporate media is hitting a slump. CNN and MSNBC News, they have been standing in front of a bus that has been driving probably about 5 miles an hour. And they knew that bus was coming to hit them eventually. But they never got out of the way of the bus. And now the bus has hit. Don't feel sorry for these anchors. They can easily go get jobs elsewhere. So keep that in mind. Anderson Cooper comes from a rich family. He'll be fine regardless. He can probably just quit today and be totally fine. But this is ridiculous what they were paying them. Absolutely ridiculous. And I wonder how much the production staff makes, by the way. Usually they make less. It's a new day, guys. It's a new day, and I'm here for it. Let corporate media fall. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.